off the top of my head. Forgive me very heavily if I do not remember the names. I stopped playing Dead by Daylight when the K-pop killer came out. I forget his name off the top of my head. I always struggle remembering his name, but pretty much right before Nemesis, I played like one game against Nemesis, and that was the last time I played. So around that time is when I was coming off. So I'll do my best to explain every perk and why it is where it is for me. Please let me know where you guys would have put them or what you guys think put them in. And also feel free to request different tier lists that you guys would like me to do. We did some cartoons today, which was interesting, something different than video games, so let me know. But let's get started. So I never used that one. This is Feng Min's. I know it's not called Premonition. This one actually might be called Premonition. But I believe this is the one that either if you're looking in the general direction of a killer or the killer's looking at you from a distance or something of that sort, it goes off. I think it's solid for new players to kind of that are learning the game and everything. It's also decent against killers like Michael, Ghostface, or the Pig that don't always have their heartbeats going on. So I think it can be useful, but I think there are obviously much better perks. Dead Hard I would put at S tier. I think it can really save you a lot of times. I think it can also minimum make the chase go longer, which is maybe not what you necessarily need, but the team might need it more, especially if you're playing, with friends and everything. I think, a perk that essentially allows you to not be hit for a split second is huge. It does cause exhaustion, unfortunately, but I think it's still, worth it, and it's only, 60 seconds or so exhaustion, so it's not that much. It might seem like a lot, but it's really not. Now, D-Strike is difficult. D-Strike originally I would put in like SS tier for sure. Everybody knows that, but I think I'm going to have to put it in A now that they have nerfed the shit out of it since release. It's still solid now, but it's kind of pick and choose when you want to do it or not at all. Again, I still think it can be useful and can save you or at least help you survive or minimum, like I said, take longer. Sometimes at the end of the day, if you know you're gonna die or being tunneled or whatever, just take as long as you can so other people can survive, right? I mean, do what you can. No Mither, D tier. I'm pretty sure that's no Mither. It might be the other David one. I'll come back to that at some point. Self-care, obviously S tier. To be able to heal yourself without a med kit in Dead by Daylight is amazing, period. It's always useful no matter what. Deliverance is difficult. Deliverance can be S tier, but I'm going to put it in A, and the biggest reason why is because it is not always there. So in order to get Deliverance, you have to unhook somebody and successfully and make sure that they don't get hit after X amount of seconds after. That's not necessarily too hard to do, but the problem is if you get hooked before you do that, then your Deliverance will never pop, because the next time you get hooked, to be able to get off the hook, you already struggle, so you can't even do it. But the times that you can, it can really save you, especially the later in the game that it is. It's a huge buff. This locker stun buff by Jane I think is just B. I think it can be useful for certain builds, but I don't think that you're not dying to get that perk necessarily. You're not like, if you have a bunch of perks available to you, that's not necessarily the biggest one you're gonna pick. This other Jane perk though, I think I'm honestly gonna have to put in S tier. I think being able to sprint for X amount of seconds after, I believe after any generator is completed, but I know for sure that it's at least one that you have. obviously it's a back and forth of new players and skilled players or older players sprinting after they do a gen. I think it's hit or miss on whether or not you do that, but I think this perk allows you to do it because you don't leave scratch marks for X amount of seconds after you do it. So again, I think it can be super useful. I know this one, I forget the name of it. I think it's B. I know it's Kate Denson's perk, and I know that when a killer picks you up, it basically increases your struggle, makes them walk real weird, you know, makes them very difficult to try to hook you. It also um, like shades the hooks, if that makes sense. So they can obviously see the hooks while they're carrying you. They're lit up, but once you get in certain range, that lit up effect goes away, so they have to actually find it. I don't think it's necessarily the best. I think at times it can be useful, and minimum, at least even get a teammate to come kind of help you and buddy block maybe or something. I think it has its uses, but I don't think that, you know, again, if there's a bunch of perks available, it's probably not going to be chosen. I've never used this. I don't remember that or that. Let's see. Botany. I think botany's a C. I mean, having better, I believe it's just better healing efficiency is good, but honestly, it's nothing crazy. I think there are so many other better perks. Same with lightweight. Leaving scratch marks for like one less second at 1 pip isn't even worth it. And obviously, I think it only goes 1, 2, 3, maybe like up to 4 for the 3rd pip or something. But I mean, you know, it's not that crazy. I don't think. I think it can. I think lightweight can have its uses, but it's nothing crazy. Balanced landing, I think, is probably D tier. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't think that makes the difference in any chase at all to have the fall and stop for like the 1 second. Now, the 1 second obviously can be used better for sure, but I don't think that is going to be the difference of whatever is about to happen, right? Borrowed time, I'm going to give to A, and the biggest reason why I have to give it to A is one, because they've switched it. They've probably switched it since last time I played, I'm sure. But I think it also gives a negative reason for people to get people off the hook. Now, obviously, you want to use it when people are face camping or it's the end of the game or whatever. I get it. The problem is people will purposefully do that, and it's kind of I think it's just a bait perk, to be honest. I think people will just annoyingly use it and not in a good way. Unbreakable, I'm going to put in B. I think it can be an A because you can get up, but the problem is a lot of times if a killer downs you, they're not just going to leave you. And even if they leave you, the amount of time it takes to heal yourself all the way up like that, they'll probably find you, or a teammate will just come get you anyway, which is preferable anyway. But every once in a while it can save you for sure. But I just can't put it any higher because of the lack of possibilities. This ace, and this is an ace in the hole. This is like just, it's literally 1% luck, okay? It means nothing in Dead by Daylight. It means that you have a 1% extra chance to get off the hook if you're struggling. And not even struggling when you're attempting. So instead of 4%, you get 5. I think the highest it goes is maybe like 5%. So you know, that's it. Literally it. Luck of nothing. Leader. I'll give leader an A. I think overall speed for survivors doing anything, whether it's gens, cleansing totems, opening chests, I think that doing that faster is just simply great. Now, if I was finding, I can't find it now, of course, that I'm looking for it. They might not even have it. It doesn't look like they do. I'm looking for Prove Thyself, because I think that's more of what I'm, here it is. I think this is overall speed. I think that might be straight gens or something. I don't know. But overall, the white's 2 perks here are pretty solid. Definitely very team oriented, but nothing crazy. Saboteur, I'll go B. There is some cheeky things to do with Saboteur, but overall it's not gonna help your team very much, I don't think. Yeah. Empathy is difficult. I think I would put Empathy in A, and I'll put Bond in B. So they're kind of the same thing. So Bond, I believe, just allows you to see people within X amount of meters. Empathy allows you to see injured people within X amount of meters, but the more pips that you get with both of them increases the meter range. But pip 3 with Empathy is literally the entire map, so anybody that's injured you can see, which honestly is super helpful in so many ways, whether it's knowing where the killer is running at after that person, whether that person can heal themselves if they have a med kit or don't have self-care is huge as well for your helpfulness. I think it's very solid. Again, I think even some of these other A tier perks or eventual A and S tier perks are better, but I think that's the best, probably like big aura perk for sure. I don't know how. I know I've seen some of these like this, but I don't remember. Taps. I think that can be. I forget this one, but I know it's if the killer's in such a radius of you, you get tokens, and then those tokens can go to great skill checks. So if you get 2 tokens, let's just say, because the killer was around you but never found you when you're doing a gen, go get back on the gen. You just hit a skill check, but it wasn't a great one. The tokens that you have automatically make it great. Obviously, if you hit a great skill check, the token is not taken. But I think it can be useful for, again, newer survivors or just kind of getting stuff done faster. I think it's on the very low end of B. I'd probably make it B minus, almost C probably, but I do think it has, if you need another perk for a new survivor that you're leveling up or whatever, I think it's useful enough to be placed there for sure. Some of these other perks I know that I have seen and used, but I just do not remember them off the top of my head enough. This protection one, like literally it's like, look at these 2 David ones and then it's S. Like taking protection hit for extra blood points, I think a percent or whatever, is not worth it. I forget exactly the name of that one, but it's pretty shitty as well. Since when is a flashbang whatever? This rock one, dumb. I mean, very rarely is it gonna even get a killer to go over there, and even if it does, like, it stops nothing, especially depending on where you throw it. Then I don't know. This other tap perk I'm going to put in A. So this one, anytime that anyone completes a generator, I'm pretty sure it's anyone. It might just be you again. But you get a radius aura around you that shows you everything around you, whether there's another close gen or 2 that's around you, totems that are around you, chests that are around you. So it can be really useful to continuously always see what you can go to next or know what's around you so you don't miss anything like a totem or can't find a gen or whatever. I think it's super helpful, even more so for newer players that don't know the map. But even if you know perfectly, that can still be so helpful to know, okay, that totem's already done or this chest is already open or the overall knowledge that you get based from it is huge. Ace in the hole, D tier, not useful. I mean, you're gonna get something a little bit better in the chest, maybe, like woohoo. And there's only urban evasion tier for sure. You know, crouch walk faster than someone damn near sprinting is huge in Dead by Daylight, especially, you know, when you have it pipped up all the way to 3, you're fast as shit just crouching around, and that's super helpful to evade the killer at all times for the most part as well. Definitely one of the best perks in the game by far, no doubt about it. Why can I not think of this one? I forget that one. But that's just so you don't scare birds, or you have a less % chance of scaring them. I think at pip 3 you don't scare them at all. Does it have the smallest amount of use? Possibly, sure, but not enough to even put it in a perk, to be honest. Um, I don't remember that ace perk. I think, what is it? I don't even remember. But I know none of Ace's perks are worth a shit. I mean, let's just be honest. This one, to be able to see chests, I'll give to C. I think it can be helpful again. A lot of these are for newer players as well. I think that can be nice to know. If you don't know that they're always in the basement or the main building or like a shack or something, then being able to see other ones throughout the map, especially if somebody's popped a offering for more chests or something, being able to see them within a range is always helpful, no matter who you are, I guess. No big deal. Again, million better perks, but it is what it is. Vigil I'll give a B. I think not a lot of people give it enough credit, to be honest. I don't even use it because I don't give it enough credit, but I think it has its uses, especially the more stuff that comes out in this game, and the more add-ons and stuff for killers. So this just allows your teammates that you're around to essentially get off of stuff like extra bleeding or exhaustion, or some crazy add-on that's mangle, like all that type of stuff. It just allows them to get off of it faster. Can be useful, but again, I would say lower B tier, probably more C tier. But again, a lot of these perks are either meta, certain builds, relatively always useful, more for new players, or just not used at all. That's just my opinion. This Cape perk, being able to see where things are at as far as vaults and everything, I think that's pretty solid. And pallets and whatnot, again, I think it's all right. Nothing crazy. Obviously, being able to know where you can go is pretty big, but again, I think that's also possibly just map knowledge, or just running around in general. I forget this other Kate one, to be honest. I think it has something to do with like after. I think it somehow causes exhaustion or something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't remember it being super useful or whatever. I forget which one of these is just the aura, so you see the killer, but I'm pretty sure they just see you. But either way, object. What are all these eyes? Jesus Christ. Alright, well, anytime you're the obsession, it's probably just not good, right? Sloppy, but is this sloppy, or this is like this is just the possibility to unhook more. I forget the name. I know it's not Sloppy Butcher. It actually might be, but I forget, to be honest. Streetwise, since I put botany and C, I'll do streetwise as well. It's just better efficiency using stuff. Nothing crazy. Da, da, da. Lori being the obsession is not that great. This obsession one is not that great. I've never used that or seen that. It looks good though. I don't remember that either. So I believe this one is actually Premonition, like the Fangman one. I'll give that B as well. I think, again, knowing, especially as a newer player, again, that I'm sure I'll keep saying over and over, I'm sure you're tired of it, but as a newer player, if you are one, knowing when and if a killer is looking at you or near you or coming your way, blah blah blah, it's super helpful. And again, with killers that don't always have heartbeats or none at all, super helpful perk for newer. Nothing crazy, but if nothing else, it's not that bad. I forget how this one works as far as getting you out. I know this is Quentin's perk of getting you out, opening the exit gate faster, though I don't remember how you do that, what you have to do to get out faster. It might not even be anything, it might just be opening speed, period. Actually, I think it might be if you or the person that you're near can open it faster. I might be a little wrong about that, but I know it has something to do with opening speed of the exit gate, so it can be alright. This D tier for Adam, the only reason is I don't remember which way it goes, but I know that there's like, it's either it starts off really bad and you have to like keep healing people or something to make it good, or it starts off really good for healing, but like the more you do it, then the worse it gets, or something of that sort. You're not going to use it. It's a shit perk. Don't worry about it. I don't remember this being good. This is No One Left Behind, I think, or something like that, or Prove That. Some of those are real fun perks in this game, to be honest. But again, it's always, the build or how you use them. This one's not that bad for, what is his name? I know it's not David, it's Joan or, damn, Jeff Johansson, that's his name. When you get off the hook, when someone takes you off the hook, it automatically breaks. Can be useful. It's not easy, but can save you sometimes, especially if they're camping you or it's later in the game or whatever. Especially if you have, you mix that with like a borrowed time if your teammate has it or something. That's a pretty nasty little combo. Adrenaline. I'll put Adrenaline at B. Again, I think it has its uses, but it only happens once a match, and it's only a possibility of it happening once a match. Otherwise, it's not there. But even when it is there, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I think it again, has the possibility to do so, and it has felt different to me when I have used it or have been forced to use it, but I don't think, B minus C plus tier around there for me. Unfortunately, I don't remember all of Felix's perks, but I remember them all being pretty good. I think this is the one, no, this is the one that allows you to get more charges for your item, whatever you're using. I believe that's that one. What is his other third one? I see his second one. I can't see his third. I may have already put, oh, here it is. Honestly, I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I do remember that he probably, as far as a DLC character, DLC survivor, he probably has the best 3 or group of unique perks that I remember. I think it was overall like a very solid build, just naturally using him for his 3 unique perks. So if you're wanting to look into buying a new DLC or get one or whatever, look at Felix and his perks. They're pretty solid for sure. No One Left Behind, nothing crazy. Life, bitch. It's decent. Nothing crazy. Just get exhausted and get a little sprint boost after you vault. Can be useful, but you know, only OGs know it, right? I don't remember any of these. Alright, Iron Will, I have to put in B. And the biggest reason why it's in B and not any higher or lower is one, having your pains, your moaning pains be less is naturally good, sure. It's only a little bit less, nothing insane. But, you know, it could be the difference. Now, Iron Will at tier 3, pip 3, whatever, is probably an S tier perk. A minimum A for sure. Because having no moaning pains when you're injured is huge. They literally have to find you either based off blood or scratch marks or something. But if you have something like Iron Will or Urban Invasion and you get a little bit of a window, you're probably good, to be honest. I think it has the potential to be S, but I think without it being at pip 3, I think it's not the best perk until it's at that point. Still useful, still probably decent enough to be B for sure, but I would say per pip it moves up. Minimum. Quick and Quiet. I'll give Quick and Quiet B. I think, again, with certain builds, it can be very useful. I think it can obviously help you get away, though I do think a killer isn't too great. It's not going to be too hard to figure out that they went right into the locker when the scratch marks ends right there, but, you know, that's just me. Damn, maybe this one's premonition. There's like 3 of these fuckers that are all the same. So if you're looking at this Fangman one, and this cat one, it's all the same shit, alright? We've talked about those two. It's the same type of deal, alright? This tap perk I'll give B as well. So this one allows you to heal and move faster while you're on the. You can literally, you know, crawl away faster than normal, and you cannot pick yourself up, unfortunately. But that with Unbreakable can be useful. Where is Unbreakable? Oh, here we go. But this, not that bad. It's not necessarily, it can save you, has the potential, and minimum at least you can go in a nice place or get away as well as heal at the same time, which is huge, and that allows your teammates to be able to get you faster anyway, or get you up faster. We'll give this a C. I think that's more of just a helping for your team. That's the one, I believe her name is Yui. If you're close when a survivor is being carried, that gives them like extra struggle or some shit. Can be useful, I think, kind of, but nothing crazy. It might be this one. And then a lot of these I remember, to be honest. A lot of these I know. Shit, it might be that one. Fuck, I don't know. But I don't remember them being that great. I think this is some kind of link, but I don't remember it being that great. Sprint Burst I'm giving C. I don't think Sprint Burst is that good. I think Sprint Burst is only useful if you have Urban Evasion, because you can't sprint after you use Sprint Burst. So it automatically goes off when you start to sprint / run away from the killer. So yeah, you get a nice little burst, but then you're exhausted and you can't sprint anymore for X amount of time. So then you're just kind of naturally jogging or whatever, extra slow. Can be somewhat overall. I think it's pretty shit. Nancy's less scratch marks is not that bad. I think it's actually like a more crazy or something. The whole scratch mark situation for Nancy is fine. Useful, but nothing insane. Honestly, we're throwing probably way too many perks in D, but half of these I remember just never using or them sucking anyway. So yeah, I don't remember using that. I think this one is Jeff's like connection, but that's basically just a shit version of empathy or something. I forget whose perk this is actually. I think it might just be a natural one. But yeah, I don't remember any of these going great. And then Technician for the last one, we'll put in B. I think it's a solid perk overall. Nothing crazy. I don't think it can be A. But again, like we've said a million times already throughout this tier list, very, very good for a new player if you're having trouble with skill checks or you just naturally miss them or you're a new player, don't get them yet, whatever. This is great. So what it'll do, not all the time, percentage of the time, if you miss a skill check, it will not explode. It will take away your gen progress like it would if you missed it any other time, but it will not explode then alerting the killer. So you will not alert the killer, you'll just lose progress in your gen and keep going. And it also makes the generator repair noise quieter, which is alright. I would say, honestly, when I'm playing as a killer, I don't have to go up that close to the gen to realize that it's not being repaired because I can just hear it. So if you're, new player playing against a newer killer or one that doesn't get very close, then it's not that bad. And it's not that bad that you're, not causing explosion on your gen. You're just losing the progress like you would anyway. But yeah, that is my overall survivor tier list for Dead by Daylight. Please let me know what you guys think. I know probably some of these might be a little bit higher. I honestly forget what about half of these do. I haven't played in forever, nor have I used half of these perks because these are obviously the ones that you want to go for. Honestly, the only time, half the time I would use these is just for the adept achievements. And then obviously please let me know about these, where you guys would place these. I know some of these are with these characters, but I just really don't remember them or what they do, which half of these I would say the same, but I was just kind of throwing them in there. But I would say if you're a new player or you're even an old player and knowing what you're doing, these would be the perks to try out for sure still and to use. If you haven't, check them out for sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If there's another type of tier list you guys would have me do, please let me know. We can get it done.